Yeah, so when they looked at insomniacs, there's two key things that they see. One is hyperactive beta brainwave activity. What are beta brainwaves? Beta brainwaves allow us to be alert. Like right now, we're both in a elevated beta brainwave state because we're talking. It's a high performance moment. Now, the problem is if people cannot slow down their brainwaves while they're trying to fall asleep, they can't fall asleep. The pattern is you go from beta down to alpha, which is calm but alert. Then everybody needs to hit theta, which is 4 to 7 hertz. And by the way, everybody hits that twice a day. The first time is that hypnagogic state where you start to dream and you're kind of aware of the dreams. That's theta.
And when you
And
start
then
to
you fall
twitch,
asleep.
that's that moment, right? When
Well,
you
not
can, like,
twitching. You're starting to become aware of your dreams, and again, you could wake yourself up, or you can kind of totally fall asleep.
mm.
So that, and anyways, we're not going to get into brainwave training, but you can train yourself to operate in that state, which is very powerful. Then you fall asleep. And then if you get great sleep, your brain will continue to slow down into delta, which is 1 to 4 hertz. And then you could even go, sub delta, but we'll save that for another show.
Yeah.
Um, so the point is that if your brain is just stuck in beta brain waves, you will not be able to, you will struggle to fall asleep, and your sleep quality is going to suck. So here's my suggestions. One is L-theanine and pharma-GABA have both clinically been shown to increase alpha brain waves. And again, I spent about 8 weeks of my life with electrodes. I just did it again like 3 weeks ago. What happens when your alpha brain waves go up is your beta brain waves tend to go down. There's kind of a competition on an electrical level in your brain. So as your alpha rises, your beta tends to decrease, and it basically you feel relaxed. So L-theanine and pharma-GABA are really, really good hacks for basically shifting your brain, start downshifting your brain.
Mm.
For people that really have hyperactive beta brain waves, I would recommend, get neurofeedback. Go do some neurofeedback. It's absolutely fixable. Of course, work with a really good clinician and good neurofeedback facility, but that's a really, really important solution that a lot of people don't even know exists. So I just
And
wanted to mention that.
for people listening who might not know, how can they determine if they're constantly in this high beta brainwave state?
Monkey mind, the hamster wheel, you name whatever animal analogy you want to use.
Yeah.
It's that they can't stop thinking, right? They can't stop thinking. They're lying in bed, staring at the ceiling. They're worrying about the fact that they're not going to be able to fall asleep. They're worrying already about how they're going to feel in the morning, that they're going to feel tired. Like when anybody's in that train of thought, they're definitely in a high beta brainwave state, and it's not going to be conducive. Here's a pro tip, by the way, in terms of if you're having those thoughts. One is just to surrender. Like,
Mm.
again, it might happen to me once every 30, 60 days where I'm in bed and my brain's hyperactive and I'm like, okay, it's going to take me 30, 60 minutes maybe to fall asleep, and I'm going to get, suboptimal quantity of sleep. Just accepting that, and also picturing myself waking up feeling refreshed is a game changer. As soon as I accept it, I start relaxing. It's when I'm like, oh man, I can't control my thoughts. I can't slow down. I'm thinking of all these things. When I'm worrying about that, that's creating a second layer of stress, which I just don't need. So that's a really good tip right there.
Yeah, a lot of people don't take that into consideration. They're always trying to, and this goes with anything. This goes with a feeling of cold. This goes with any feeling of discomfort, your legs burning in a workout. Everybody tries to escape that feeling instead of
Mm-hmm.
surrendering to it, being okay and curious about that feeling. So that's the A in the captain's code, is accept the uncontrollable. So the sooner that you can accept and surrender to whatever situation you're in, the more at peace you will be. So specifically to the beta brainwave, the more that you're able to accept that in the moment instead of trying to force yourself to sleep, which absolutely never works. I've been there. I've tried it. It doesn't work. accept the fact that you're in that brainwave state, and then, use all these hacks that you're learning to reduce the beta brainwaves and increase the alpha brainwaves. But yeah, simply surrendering to it, and instead of what ifing all the worst case scenarios, like what if I can't fall asleep? What if I wake up tomorrow and feel like shit? What if the good stuff? What if I was able to surrender to this? What if I was able to relax? What if I do get good quality sleep, even though it's not the right quantity? What if I am able to wake up feeling refreshed? Just that simple mindset shift could be a game changer.
Something that might sound woo, but and I've talked to a lot of people that have reported the same thing, like literally picturing yourself waking up feeling refreshed is very effective. And I'll give you another example that's completely different, but some of us sometimes, we have to travel and wake up maybe way earlier than normal. And it's very bizarre. I don't know if you've experienced this, but sometimes, let's say I have to wake up at 4:30. My body, which would never ever happen, will wake up at 4:25, and I look at the phone. I'm like, oh, I guess I should wake up.
Yes.
So again, there's definitely some programmability that seems to be undeniable in terms of how we can program our brain to either wake up earlier or prime itself to wake up in a certain state. So
thanks for watching. And if you enjoyed this clip, check out the full episode on the Captain's Lifestyle podcast. Also, check the description for links to discounts on the best sleep supplements that I personally use and recommend.